Right, so I have in my Skype green room a number of faces looking anticipatory. I'm going to press a button over here and bring them into the setup here so that you can also see their anticipatory faces. There are some faces. Hello, folks. Thanks for your patience sitting there without Ferrero Rocher in your digital green room. I'm going to call you by name. It'd be great for you to introduce yourselves as we go around. Let's start with Isa.
All right. So, my name is Isa Huerga, and I'm part of the developer relations team at AWS. So basically what I do is engage with builders. I don't want to say developers because I engage with anyone that is building, ideally on AWS. And my background is sysadmin. So I've been focusing, I also work as a TAM, so I've been focusing a lot on operational excellence. But one of the things I love doing and I'm passionate about doing is interactive activities. So I do workshops, I do game days, and this sort of activities. So if you want to know more, follow me. And I always do it whenever there is an opportunity. I know we don't do too many. So if you want us to do more, let me know or let John know. And he might be able to also organize some for you.
Great. Thanks, Isa. Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Basford. So I run the Ipswich AWS User Group and sort all them out and give talks there. And I'm also one of the Ferrero Rocher eaters as well. So an ambassador. And like Clive is going to speak next part of the Community Builder Program as well. So all good stuff.
Great. And Clive.
Hey guys, lovely to join you guys this evening. Clive Nethersole. I run the AWS User Group in the Thames Valley, and make sure that we've been running the event through COVID, which we're really chuffed about. And I'm one of the machine learning enthusiasts. Recently, just got my ML cert, so very chuffed with that. And also, like Phil, am part of the community builders. Got my cap on, just to plug there. But really try and help the community in any way, in which way I can, and just help companies and individuals build on AWS.
Great. So a couple of community builders here. I think previous speakers on this very Twitch stream, Mike Fowler is also one of your number. As of this week, I believe there's a new cohort of builders just been announced. So if you're Mike, if you're on the stream, well done, congratulations. If anybody else is on the stream who's just been named a builder this week, again, congratulations. Clive, why don't you tell us, what does that mean? I mean, you've got a hat. Is it all about the hats?
No, it's definitely not. So it's all about getting out there, helping the community in whichever way you can, organizing events, looking at different ways in which we can engage with the community. One of the things that Isabella and myself, if I don't mind, we're organizing and trying to get the first user group deep racer league up and running in the UK, which is very exciting. And so there's lots of different avenues where we can help each other, and it's really supporting each other and supporting the community to really bring home this exciting time in our lives where the technology is great and we can go and build out and do so many things. It's an exciting time.
Absolutely. Phil, you're a builder and an ambassador. Who has the best swag? Which program is it?
It's actually the ambassador program has the best swag.
I've chosen the right one then, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. the bag is particularly awesome. So I didn't use my bag because I sort of went to the office today. I haven't used my bag since we got it start of the year. So I packed all my gym stuff and everything in my bag, and I didn't realise it had the electric protection stuff, so people can't scan your car keys in it. It's got cooler bag in it and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, this is quite impressive actually.
Yeah, room for a sandwich in the front, and
Exactly.
all pretty good.
And it stays
I'd hold mine up, but it's in a different room. Actually, it's in a room that's got my wife in it right now, where she's been banished while I stream. Like, out of the way, wife. AWS Bag User Group UK says just play Ian on the channel. Yeah, fair enough. Let's talk about something else. So the EMEA Summit's coming up in 2 or 3 weeks. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in particular, Isa, maybe? I mean, you signed in. You're an Amazon employee, right? So you probably know all the kind of inside track. What can you tell us about what's coming up? That's the real question.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be 2 days, as you said, but the days are targeted for different audiences. So the first one is going to be the Builders Day. So I would recommend this for all the builders, as the name says, and this is developers, data scientists, security. I saw a cloud security guy helping today on the chat. So it's really anyone that is technical, and even technical leaders, I would say, they might be interested on the sessions there. And it will have workshops, it will have sessions. There is a developer zone that is actually, it will contain sessions from the community, which is always very exciting. As Clive said, it's all about sharing knowledge. So that's very exciting. Check that out. And then the next day is going to be the Innovators Day. And that is more focused on business executives, startup founders. So it's going to be focusing more on inspiring and helping all these individuals accelerate the business. So I would say the first thing you're going to notice that there are 2 different agendas. And in each day, there will be a number of activities, different activities. So I would say check that out. And I will also, can I promote myself?
Yeah, you go for it, Isa.
Can I just pitch? So I'm very happy because I actually have a session with Morgan McLean, and we're going to be talking about end-to-end observability with open telemetry. So he's part of the open telemetry team, which is a project that hopefully you all know. So if you're interested on observability and open telemetry, that session is going to be part of the Builders Day agenda.
Great. Sounds good. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that the first day is for people in t-shirts and the second day is for people in button shirts, right? Is that the distinction?
That sounds actually quite accurate.
Sounds about right. I'm actually usually a button shirt kind of guy in my business role, but I'm wearing my AWS t-shirt. So you can't see that. I've turned my video off to the people on Skype. So I'm a disembodied voice to them, which is why they might seem a little bit like, what's going on? Voice of God. Cool. Phil, anything that you're looking forward to in particular for the summit?
I'd like some cool announcements in the builder space around code pipeline and better cost accounting. I'd like CodeCommit to be a bit more public facing, have a bit more features, a bit getting towards GitHub, and I'd like CodeGuru's Python thing to actually check for things like PEP 8 standards, that kind of thing, where it seems to lack that capability at the moment. It's quite an MVP at the moment. Yeah. These
sort of products do tend to kind of start out a bit minimalist and then maybe wow you later on when you're not looking. But yeah, good stuff. Clive, anything that you're particularly interested in what's on your wish list or anything that you know that's happening that you'd like to talk about?
There's things around machine learning. Just I'd like to see more capabilities around that. And then the other thing is looking at landing zones and just design patterns and different things around landing zones and how different verticals can leverage landing zones and just what. Where I work, I haven't mentioned where I work, but we get a lot of queries around good design patterns for the different verticals and that, and it would be good to see some sort of design patterns and recommendations coming out and just good practice around those sorts of things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, do you want to say who you work for, or are you sort of are you ashamed? Are you shy of it?
Absolutely not. No. I've worked. I work at a lovely company called Rackspace. I've been there for over 17 years now, so I'm definitely part of the furniture, and it's a very, very exciting time there, and totally enjoying being in the AWS space at Rackspace.
Yeah,
got some exciting things happening.
Yeah, I guess you've been with Rackspace sort of, I guess, since before Rackspace was an AWS partner, right? The kind of transition from dedicated server, managed server hosting, fanatical support, I guess, into, Amazon are eating our lunch, let's do that now.
Absolutely. We've had to. I've been to a company where I've seen it grow from a real startup company, mature to a more enterprise company, and then have to pivot and change offerings. So it's been a great place to learn and develop my career, and long may it last.
Yeah, well, right. I used to work for an ISP back in the days when like Rackspace were the big name in that kind of field. So it's been interesting to sort of see, like we were always like, oh, Rackspace are really big, they're taking all of our business, and then it became AWS are taking Rackspace's business, and now Rackspace are doing AWS. It's been an interesting time. Let's not talk too much about my feelings about Rackspace, I guess, which apparently are quite deep seated. I've forgotten just how viscerally I could react to the idea of Rackspace. Talk a bit more about the sort of the landing zone thing that you mentioned. Like, I think one of the things that we do is a lot that kind of. It's a sort of, I guess, a best practice story for particular types of workloads. For us, it's B2B SaaS businesses for the most part. What are the things that vary between different businesses in that space? What are the things that the different types of companies need differently from each other?
There's we do quite a bit of work now for education sector and also just the wider ecosystem out there, specifically around educations and that. And it's looking at how to bring in a landing zone type solution for a wider organization that's going to then bring in different elements of the education sector into that, and then how does that work? And it could be then for any other vertical that I've just picked on education just because I've been working on that recently, but it could be for any other vertical, and it's just then how different verticals can then best suit themselves. There's no just necessarily one pattern that's going to, I think, work for every vertical, but in general terms, yes, there is a good approach, but there are going to be nuances between, and it's having good recommendations that for that.
Gotcha. Phil, do you work with education at all, or you sort of avoid that particular vertical? What are you working? What are you typically doing at the moment, I suppose, is the real question.
So mostly on things like transport and logistics, predictive maintenance, that kind of thing is quite hot at the moment. And also everybody seems to want a data lake at the moment. So doing lots around data ingestion and structuring people's data lakes to give them foundations to go on and do some of the more advanced analytics and machine learning capabilities.
Gotcha.
And kind of the coolest thing is when we start playing with IoT and streaming things in as well.
So real time kind of reporting and remediation of physical things. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So you're obviously an ML fan, advocate, I suppose. Should we go back to the question we were talking about earlier on? Like, will we ever replace operators with machine learning? How do you feel about
that? I feel mostly that you'll still have operators and still people that need to respond to incidents and understand things. So it won't replace them completely. But I think it touches on that increasingly that AWS and everything does more for you. So it's where you spend the most valuable bit of your time. I think it's the key, and allowing the systems to take more control and do some of the more menial tasks, I think. So it's like understanding access patterns inside access logs, that kind of thing. I think a machine can do that, but then understanding exactly all the layers and how it interplays with your business domain and your applications is going to always sit back for the human. Yeah,
gotcha. Isa, obviously you're an AWS employee. Is AWS hoping that they can replace people with products? Is that the general plan?
I think we will always need builders, definitely. I think it's about helping builders focus on the tasks that add value rather than, how did you call it before? The heavy lifting.
Yeah, it's undifferentiated heavy lifting.
Undifferentiated heavy lifting. Yeah, I think it's about that. It's about really helping builders focus on the things that really can make a difference, and everything that can be automated, try to remove it so we can make the most with our time, really.
Yeah, gotcha. Clive, where do you stand on the will we ever have robots replacing humans position?
I don't think robots will ever replace humans, but I think what will happen is they're going to be integrated into our lives. There's a call out that I'd like to make. A company that I'm following very closely, and get excited every time they make an announcement. Or it's a little company that I think is going to help the agricultural sector, which is going to impact us all. So it's a little small company in the UK called the Small Robot Company. You'd never think that they do anything to do with agriculture, but what they're doing is they're taking this idea that we in IT all understand about distributing your services, and not having everything in a monolith, and that. So they're taking the ideas that we have in IT and applying that to farming. So using distributed swarms, if you want to call it, of lots of little things, doing a common task, and doing that in a way that is efficient and good for the environment and for sustainability, and also then increasing yield on the land, which is incredible. It's an amazing company. So I'd call go and have a look at them. The Small Robot Company.
Great. I can see Paul, diligent as ever, just pasted the link to it into the chat. Well done, Paul. We actually had our last meetup. We had Velisva Boyer from AWS in South Africa talking about not that company, but a company doing sort of similar things. Where I think they use drone photography or something like that to work out like where they need to spray crops or something of that nature. And there's loads of machine learning stuff in there. Really kind of interesting. I think the feedback we got during and after that talk actually was that this was a really interesting domain that no one had really kind of. I think when as technologists you start to see an impact of your own work in something that isn't just like moving lights on a screen, it starts to feel a bit more tangible. Right? We start actually changing the world with the stuff that we're doing. Like, I mean, not me. I'm just running a consultancy. We're not changing the world. But people doing agricultural tech with robots, they're definitely changing the world. Good tip, Clive. We'll check them out. We've got a couple of minutes left. Any sort of burning questions you want to cover? Anything that you want to plug? Let's go. Isa, anything else that you want to kind of talk about other than the EMEA Summit, which we've already covered?
Well, then let me cover community builders, because I know you said that
yes.
Everyone here in the panel is a community builder.
Yeah.
So this is not a restrictive group. It's open. You can put yourself in the waiting list to get notified when we open the next cycle. And once the cycle is open, you can nominate, you can apply. And then, of course, all the candidates will be considered and only a few will be selected. But if you're contributing, as Clive said, if you're already contributing to the community, writing blog posts or participating in Meetup, maybe doing talks or contributing maybe with open source projects, if you're really contributing to the community, feel free to, and you're interested, of course, in being a community builder, feel free to apply.
Great.
And maybe I'll find the link if Paul isn't faster than me.
Yep, great. I think in Phil's view, you need to up your swag game in the community builders landscape. I think like there's a bar to clear, which is the ambassador bar.
To be honest, the best swag is none of them. The heroes got the old VR stuff, didn't they?
Ah, yes, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, that we invent.
The requirements are higher, though.
Yes, yeah. There's definitely a sort of step thing.
So it's a league table, basically, and the swag goes up.
We're in the second division, Phil, as ambassadors. I'm afraid that's what's going on there. Anything that you'd like to plug, Phil, on the way out?
Just at the EMEA Summit, I'm speaking a part of the day job a couple of times, so look out for me speaking about ML ops and stuff as well.
Excellent, good stuff, Phil. Clive, anything you'd like to plug on the way out?
Not for me. Just enjoy the summit and look out. I'll hopefully be there and bump into me. Come and say hi.
Great stuff.
Good to meet everyone.
Great. Thank you, Clive. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Isa. Great to have you on the stream. We will see you again at some other juncture. Thanks very much.
Thank you.